And welcome back, ladies, gentlemen, Gungans, droids, Catty-Moody-Conans, with the extended lifespans and all the other fancy species out there, to our Grand Arena Coliseum, where in today's episode, we're going to be talking about hot counters the King of Triple B pulled off on the holotable that you don't want to miss. Counters so deadly, you're going to need to register them as weapons of mass destruction. Eric, can I even own a weapon of mass destruction? So I guess I can't register. But anyways, these counters are gonna blow your mind. We're talking most perfect counters to take on the Great Mothers and a Leviathan build that can end the Chimera counter, question mark? Well, you came to the right place. Let's get down into the action and talk about what we got cooking today. And if you want to see Grand Arena highlights, come back. Well, you guys know what to do. Leave that like, comment down below. I don't know if you guys want highlights when you guys are already on. Let's get to the action. So our opponent the other day, Unimatrix, representing Patrol. We're talking data crowns out of our mind. We're talking Big Daddy GP. Do we have the Big Daddy plays to reciprocate? Our opponent scoring a 19-11 on mine defense. A lot of drop battles as we're going to show at the very end here. Question is though, with such a magical number such as the 1911, what do we got to do to overcome the adversity on this holotable? Well, our opponent put down the Great Mothers. And you know what? Before I even bother us with what's on that south wall, with the Master Kenobi, with the not Admiral Trench, what the hell, Captain Enoch. God, Admiral Trench is always on my mind. They had the Reva on the south wall. Luthen. All that doesn't matter unless I know I can take down the Great Mothers, because I myself put Kenobi back on defense. That means I better have a good answer for Great Mothers. And let me tell you. So let's start this first battle off with Kylo Ren versus the Great Mothers. Now, hello people. If you guys remember a week ago, our video game division unveiled the greatest, most powerful counter to the Great Mothers and their bonkerific Datacron, Kylo Ren Unmasked Lead. This has shaken the Galaxy Heroes community to the core, allowing us to overcome Great Mothers. Let me tell you this. We've seen a 1,000,000,000,000% increase in Kylo Ren Unmasked Lead ever since our video game division put that gameplay out. And man, here is how it works even in 3v3. I first showed it in 5v5, but boy, oh boy, it works in 3v3. The attacker Datacron is kind of needed right now while the Great Mothers have their Datacron. But once the perimeter Kylo Ren, boom, gets that stun on Morgan Elsbeth, locks her in, and then he follows up because of the attacker Datacron with the buff immunity on top of it, you're going to be rolling a massive turn meter train because Kylo Ren Unmasked Lead, as we have discussed, if you haven't looked at it already, put a card in that top right-hand corner. You got homework. Once Kylo Ren Unmasked Lead lets the perimeter Kylo Ren roll a massive turn meter train because of all the critical hits, the Great Mothers can't keep up with that amount of raw, untamed power. And as we can see, Banner's score of 57. So yeah, get out of here, Great Mothers. Kylo Ren still on top, baby. That's what a real galactic legend looks like. All right, people, so now that I took down the Great Mothers on that top wall, we went ahead and focused our attention on that southern wall so we can break it open, see what's on the backside, and I wish we could say the trouble's over, but no. We have ourselves Sith Eternal versus Jedi Master Kenobi. What a dicey battle with that Plo Koon Datacron doing absolutely nutty stuff with the stuns, all that extra bonus damage. The Gucci man trying to find my highest health Datacron to make sure we could survive what's about to come, pulling out some Night Sister zombie, old Daka cheese. But as you can see, it looked scary for a moment. Getting a couple hits on Sith Eternal opening up and the first few plays. But don't worry, Daka and Zombie started doing their thing, distracting Kenobi, allowing Sith Eternal, the Gucci man himself, to hit that ultimate ability, knock out Commander Tano and Plo. And right there after that, all we had to do was dot our T's and cross our I's. And if you think about it, if you dot a T, it's an I. If you cross an I, it's a T. Think about it for a second. We're just blowing your mind here. Easy win for Sith Eternal. Now we can move on to what's next on our agenda, which is Gideon versus Jabba the Hutt. Let's see if our engagement is where it's at. What's your favorite cheese? Are we talking American? Are we talking provolone? Are we talking Swiss? Or are we talking Gideon? Yes, baby, yes. Again, homework if you guys have not been keeping up with it. Our video game division has been pumping out high IQ counters. This is one of them. With the Gideon Cron that we currently have, we see that the Gideon is just able to roll a massive massive turn meter train. Just a couple days ago, we were able to make Gideon and Thrawn lead, take out Queen Amidala in Grand Arena. If you use Gideon up against Jabba, you got yourself another one-shot budget counter. Generally it works, but sometimes you might get hit with bad RNG, and Gideon keeps getting wrecked. OG Gideon, not Dark Malkin, but once you get all those buffs ramping up to keep giving us 4 stacks of insight with the Datacron, boom, turn, chasing our way through Jabba the Hutt with Gideon coming out, man. Whoa! Boy, I hope you guys are feeling the heat, because next up, we got ourselves Bo-Katan Luthen. Let me tell you something, man. Luthen is a character and a team that's not all that cheap right now, it seems, to take her down. Bo-Katan going into battle, throwing in some attacker Datacrons. I don't think it really matters what Datacrons we have. Boy, it's such a scary looking battle. Opening play with Saw, Luthen, and Kyle just dumping all these debuffs, dropping out this massive damage. You're just kind of sitting there with your cooldowns being increased, and you're like, come on, Bo, let's get a play. Let's get a play going. And eventually, slowly but surely, Bo-Katan can slice. Working our way to the finish line. But my, oh my, scary counter. We made it through, and that's all that matters. Taking the win, taking down Luthen. But man, talk about a really solid conquest unit that has been delivering. Next up, we have Malgus Riva. You know the name of the drill here. Fear. All the way home, man. We need to lock in these Inquisitors, because if you let them get out of control, you're going to be feeling a world of pain. But luckily, Malgus opening up, as well as Dartham, and just getting all that doubt, getting all that fear. Bas Lashan coming into even more fear, just trying to control with the ability blocks and fears, making sure they don't start popping out these big plays. It takes a bit of time, a couple minutes on the clock, but eventually, once you get that Grand Inquisitor up, the clock is on your favor. Just put it on auto, let her coast. Malgus getting a nice, easy dunk on Riva. We like seeing that stuff. We don't want to mess around with Riva, because, boy, that's a nasty team to deal with. Taking the win home. And then the last thing we have on this front wall, ladies and gentlemen, Starkiller versus Enoch. Enoch's been kind of a funny team. I like it. Not quite 100% there yet. It's almost like they require maybe a Galactic Legend Thrawn. I digress, though. As we're seeing right now, I think the best way that I've been handling Enoch has been Starkiller, mostly a Palpatine and Margie. Let's be real for a second. Once you open up and you just keep rolling that Terminator train, you don't want Enoch on the gang getting any sort of turns, because especially with their Night Trooper Datacron, they might pop some really gnarly hits. So as long as you roll them, not letting them get a kill, make sure you take out Enoch first so you can disable that unique ability which prevents critical hits on a whole other level. Seems to be pretty easy. I don't really use Starkiller versus Rey right now. I have better counters that are a little bit more consistent, so this for me feels okay. But don't sleep on this team. Although they're zombies and they're enjoying a nice long nap, this is not a team you want to be sleeping on. Starkiller locking in a win, allowing us getting into that back wall to see what we got. No GLs on that back wall, but we see Admiral Trench. We see things like Tuskens, Captain Dash Rendar. But I want to make sure that top zone locked in. So let's go back onto that north wall and finish up what we have. Queen Amidala, Leia Organa. People don't believe me. People, you think I gave myself the made-up title, King of Triple B, Gods Gets Mobile Gaming? No, it was literally bestowed upon me on the 8th day. I blew people's minds the other day, showing when Queen Amidala could take down Leia. Yeah, it's probably the easiest counter to, especially the tank Datacron that we have. Tank Datacron Leia is nasty. It can shut down things like our beloved, what's his name? Darth Bane. How did I forget? How can I forget that? But nonetheless, Queen Amidala, especially those support Datacrons ramping up Padawan Obi-Wan's damage, you're gonna be laying down massive fat heat. Oh, kicking out that Leia Organa win. Sometimes you just gotta trust the King of Triple B when I'm behind that wheel. Now we're gonna do a little bit of dancing. I'm gonna do one more battle on this top wall. Then we're gonna kind of focus on the south, because I think I have what I need to finish off the rest here. We have ourselves Savage versus the Gungan. Now that the Boss Nass and the Jar Jar Datacron is old news, you kind of got multiple options. I still prefer Savage lead with the Traya up against Gungans, but if you don't want to do Savage lead for whatever reason, it seems like Traya lead could be fine. I just love Savage lead, because especially when you have Talon and the Savage Omicron and Savage in the lead, anytime they're hitting Savage, you're just getting so much turn, which makes it quick work to slice through all those nasty Gungan generators. Pretty easy counter. We saw this even work during the peak of Gungan power with their Datacrons. Nice easy win. But now let's go focus our attention on the south wall before we handle whatever else was left up here, which was that Malgus and Dr. Rafa. Let's head on south, folks, a little bit south of the border, where we have Maul versus Captain Rex. Now, this ain't your Darth Maul. Formerly Darth, now just Maul. I absolutely love the Mandalorians and what kind of heat they're bringing onto my holo table here. Opening play always scares me with the old man Rex dropping days on everyone. You're like, oh, this is it. I can't get people to assist. You just gotta believe. Once you finally get Maul to that 5 stacks of anguish, you do your jazz hands, pa, 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 locking in that old man Rex, deleting him out of the picture. The team just crumbles. And even in this situation where Captain Rex, his aerial advantage, you got yourself that damage immunity to save your Gar Saxon or Super Commander. Absolutely love this team. Always a good day when I don't need to use Maul with Lord Vader, because this is what I like to see. Nice easy win for Maul. So yours truly, you're directed the video gaming division, the supreme ruler of the multiverse of video gaming realm, the rightful heir and ruler of an Alderaan. Got a little carried away. I saw I'm rocking hot plays. I saw my opponent dropped a lot of battles. What does that mean? It's time to theory craft. So, I saw there was a resistance team. I've been wanting Grievous to get back on into his mojo, so I tried out Grievous versus Zori. I tried using Grievous with Shorty and a support Datacron, hoping that I can put the VIP on B2, which I did, but unfortunately the buff immunity from the opposing Datacron kind of killed this really quickly. So yeah, absolute failure. Didn't work, but you know what did work? The Sisters of the Night Sisters versus Zori. All right, now we're playing serious. Theory craft counter did not work, but Night Sisters did, especially with no Rose Tico on that other side of the holo table, preventing all that lovely Plague with her tenacity up. We don't got to worry about that. Let a sister die. Plague starts rolling. Easy money. Bonus cookies. Had the Asajj Ventress Datacron that does all the bonus damage with debuff. Working through this team very easily. So sometimes, you know, if it works, don't fix it. Night Sisters do great up against these resistance. Versus Dash Rendar. You know me, I've been loving what Pal's been bringing to Galaxy of Heroes lately. We showed the other day how he could take down a variety of galactic legends in a 5v5 scenario, but don't get me wrong, in 3v3, we're getting work done with this guy. I probably feel like I should be doing more with him, but you know what? We had this Dash Rendar, Vandar Chewy Datacron. Pal doesn't care. With unlimited power from the one and only Pal Zedong, anytime he's assisting, doing 99,999 damage, why go for 100,000? When 99,999 sends the right message. Take a quick work out of this, no problem, easy money. Let's move on to better business, where we got Lord Vader versus Admiral Trench. People, you know, these two guys right here, two of my most annoying things in the game. Admiral Trench versus Lord Vader. You know what? Lord Vader got the job done. It takes a minute. The guy acts like he was like some sort of budget galactic legend. It takes 10 years to finally ramp up, but eventually we got the job done with all the dazes, all the damage over times. Quick, easy, simple. He did it, and oddly enough, without any headache. I swear, when I'm doing stuff live, he likes to make my life a little bit more miserable, but off stream, easy money. Lord Vader taking that win. And then the last team we have on the south, Bane versus Tuskens. A little overkill, but you know what? Why should Anakin have all the fun? Why should he be the only one that kills all the women and children too? You know, Bane was kind of doing the killing before Anakin was around. Easy money, brought in Malik because I don't know why. I had him around, it's like, all right, buddy, let's get in there, have some fun. He actually got killed off, funny enough, in this Tusken battle. And we have the anti-revive to not even play around with that Tusken cheese. I'm not playing around with it. It's so annoying. Bane, whatever that abbreviates, just remember that. Taking the win, locking in that south wall. And now let's get back to that north side where we have Enoch versus Dr. Aphra. Man, I gotta say, I've been a little disappointed with Aphra this season. But you know what? She woke me up in this battle. Upset battle right here. Yes, I had Enoch, which generally does counter Aphra. However, this Aphra had a crazy amount of physical damage. On her Datacron, they didn't even need the critical hit. BT and the crew were just tearing my team apart. Didn't even get a chance to make a real play. So you know what? Hats off to her. She got a nice upset. stopped me. This is probably my first legit loss that we had here. I was not theory craft. I wasn't playing around. I thought this should have worked, but it didn't. So that means we need a cleanup crew. And we had Dash Rendar versus Dr. Afra. I was a bit worried here because at least I don't recall, I had no attacker Datacron. So this kind of made me worried, especially with the amount of defense and physical damage this team had. And you see it. Boy, I felt like I got a little lucky. Cutting down Afra as fast as possible with Han Solo's opening play. We quickly lost Han Solo, so Dash and Chewie had to kind of stay out there and just hold down the fort. They delivered. Took down Afra, a little bit of fresh air coming in. Taking out the BT, we're good to go. Messy, scary, but the job got done. Good job. Then lastly, we have ourselves Jabba the Hutt versus Malgus. Now, I don't know about you. Right now, there's a lot of ways of handling Jabba on defense. I was like, lately I've been using Jabba on offense, you know? So it's getting the job done. There's not really much to discuss here. You just kind of work towards your ultimate. Eat up the Malgus, eat up the next guy. Nice, easy money. I don't know. It just doesn't feel like a good season for Jabba to be on defense, especially if getting around. Then you got funny little things like Enoch can beat them. Again, very endgame Kyber 1 problem. For me, I think this is pretty much this whole season. I've been using Jabba on offense. Got the job done. And now we open up the wall and we see ships, which kind of caught me off guard here. Check this out. Just from an initial glance, it feels like people are trying to find a way to stop Chimera and that success rate up against Leviathan. Well, this could be a solution, as we're going to see here. We're seeing Leviathan with the bomber, Sith bomber, and TIE bomber. What the heck's going on? No Fury class from Malgus? No. So again, my understanding of this, which I believe this is the first time I'm seeing something like this. TIE bomber, I think, is there for two reasons. Number one, it's got burning, which does what? Reduces your evasion. So it makes it harder for things like the TIE Defender. Also has a buff dispel, which I thought maybe it was going to time out conveniently right after the Scythe. It didn't. But imagine if your Scythe did a buff dispel and then TIE bomber deleted all of whatever the heck it's called formation. Yeah, that would kind of suck. Still, even so, we brought into normal Chimera. I was curious to see where this cookie was going to crumble. But I think the problem is, again, do I need to list the titles? I'm the gods, get the mobile gaming king of Triple B, all that fun stuff there. Managed to push through, but I'm not going to lie. It felt like things are moving fast for Leviathan. A lot of debuffs being spammed out there. Felt like they got to their ultimate very quickly. Luckily, we still pulled out the nice, solid win. I don't know. Try it out for yourself. If you're in a grand arena where there's a lot of Chimera action versus Leviathan, this could scare some people. A lot of debuffs, buff the spells, minimizing evasion. You guys let me know. This is probably my favorite thing I've seen in terms of defensive stuff from my opponents this entire season. Big ups to Unimatrix for making me think a little bit here, but just a little bit. And then let's go ahead, dot our T's, cross our I's, as I like to say. We have ourselves Negotiator versus the Executor. Enjoy this while you can, people, because as you know, we got the punishing one right around the corner in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, which who knows what it's going to do. Is it going to stop Negotiator? Is it going to allow the punishing one to compete more with maybe Profundity and Leviathan? We don't know yet, but I think they're probably going to try to increase the defensive viability, and Negotiator might be on the chopping block. I don't know, but nice, easy win. It doesn't really seem to matter what starting lineup Executor has, whether it's their standard, the boss, or the triple attacker. Negotiator, if you got the right relics and mods, easy money. Nice, good win for Negotiator. And then lastly, we have Holdo, the Forbidden One, versus Malevolence, my favorite ship battle people. Oh, it puts a smile on my face when you get that whole combo going. Comeuppance comes in, and you just delete the entire enemy fleet. It only fails me once at a blue moon, and it really ticks me off. This right here is a fun team. Although, yes, Comeuppance isn't, I'd say, top tier level fleets or ships, I should say. Still a ton of fun. And that puts our final score, ladies and gentlemen, at 2006 versus 1911. A solid win for our Kyber Club, for our Kyber Empire, and yours truly, our supreme ruler of the multiversal video gaming realm, the Emperor of Analder and the Kyber Empire, and of course, our director of the video game division here, my friends. Lovely win. And you know what? 2006, give you a little fun fact. That's when Wii Sports came out. Let's go ahead, roll some Wii Sports in our outro. Here's how my defense did. A lot of drop battles on the Great Mothers, on my back wall, my Afra, and all these other teams, getting lots of holds, enabling us to really have that nice cushion for the pushing to get that Kyber win, my friends. Great job on our defense. Shout out to Unimatrix for some really cool stuff they threw my way. And a big thank you to all of you for stopping by today. And again, if you want to see more Grand Arena highlights, you let me down below. Give me some love. Smash that like button. Obliterate it. Use your high IQ Grand Arena counters in that like button to let me know if we should do more of these. But until the next time we meet, ladies and gentlemen, this is yours truly signing off. It's great.